looks so good. Hey guys, happy Thursday. Today is Thursday.
Thursday or Friday?
Thursday.
Don't throw me off, Rafael. It's Thursday, February 28th, the last day of the month, the last day of February 2019. We were in a very loud Citrus Club today,
Yes.
but we're going to talk over all these people. God bless them. And I'm with my friends Jen.
Samayoa.
Oh yeah, Jen and Rafael
Yes.
Ceja.
Bam.
I can do that one. I can't do your name though. I want to learn how to do it.
I'll get easier once he puts the ring on.
Jensherise is on. Eileen's on. Let us know you can hear us or see us. I know it probably sounds like I'm screaming at you. Just pretend I'm like your German or Italian grandfather, and we're just going for it. But give us a heart. Give us a thumbs up. You got to adapt. This is what we do in our business world. And thankfully, the club has been gracious and not sat anybody right near us, or we would be screaming at them right now. But I want to know you can at least see us and hear us, so give us that heart. I'm excited to have these two on. Sounds great. There you go, Jose. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, so welcome. All right, so give them, we love to start with the origin story. People love to know where you came from. They love to know that you weren't born, and then all of a sudden you're both beautiful people with successful real estate careers. They want to know the nitty-gritty and the origin story. So we'll start with you, Jen. Welcome.
Thank you. So I just want to first off say thank you, Ted, for allowing us to be here. I'm very gracious. So a little bit about me. I'm originally from Miami, Florida. Moved to Central Florida 22 years ago, to Claremont actually, and there was nothing there.
How did you go from Miami to Claremont?
I hated it.
I was going to say there's
the closest
no way.
movie theater was an hour away. So I told my parents, I was like, once I'm 18, I'm moving back to Miami. Like, this is not for me. Literally, people were like, for fun, we're going to go gator hunting. I was like, no, thank you.
That is not good.
But now it's grown so much, and being in this industry, a lot of our clients want to move to that great suburb area with great schools. And how I actually got into the real estate field was because of this handsome gentleman right here. He was in it and actually wanted me to get in it when he did 4 years ago, but I was finishing school, so my background, I was actually pursuing medical school, majoring in chemistry, and was going to get my PhD, become a pharmacist. But seeing his success and how he was growing and really needed that extra hand, I said, okay, once I finish my degree, before I go to medical school, I'll give the real estate a try. So
Give it a whirl.
that's what I did. On summer, took the test, got my license, and I've been in it now for almost 2 years, and it's been a great ride. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm so grateful for the opportunities and people like yourself that I've met. So
That's sweet. I got a question for you. So
Yes.
stereotypical chemist, that doesn't seem like that would equate to anything to do with people.
yes, exactly.
Right? Because aren't you looking at formulas and elements and all sorts of things all day long?
Yep.
How did you make the transition from chemistry major
Yes.
to really a world where you are constantly engaging with people and having to be a sales, marketing, bartender, psychiatrist, psychologist for everyone?
I think what helped me get that good social skill was, one, being the oldest of 4 kids in the family just kind of helped me be a leader in that aspect. And growing up, I was always in leadership roles. For example, vice president of our student government, varsity captain for a cheer, doing a lot of community events. And then also while I was in college, I was an assistant manager for some retail. So having that interaction with people. And I think growing up, I definitely have to thank my parents as such great role models for bringing me up to be, social and holding myself well and with good manners. So talking to people was never, a weakness for me. I'm definitely a go-getter, and I get that from my father. Just, when I want something, just go after it. And just coming from a heart full of love, I just want to bring that onto people. So going into the real estate world was very natural for me, just because I want to be everybody's friend.
You're very well-rounded, too. Hey, Eric, you're very well-rounded. Like, that's a well-rounded person. Cheerleading, student government, chemistry, which I did not want anything to do with, and now real estate. All right, so let's talk about the person whose last name I actually can pronounce, Rafael Ceja. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, thank you so much.
Give us your background. Thank you I'm so happy to have you guys on here. I appreciate it.
So born Southeast Chicago, raised from 6 months on in Orange County, California. I moved around a lot. My father was in the Marine Corps, so we went from California to Reno, Nevada, Austin, Texas, Kansas City, Missouri, and then here.
Wow.
And it's been blessed. I'm actually happy. Back then, it kind of sucked because you had to meet new people all the time, but
it's a good training ground for you, right?
Oh, it's great, because you always have to adapt to your surroundings, and that's something that actually helps me now in my future, is adaptable. I've seen a lot of people that can't adapt, and I'm like, man, how can you not do this?
Well, you had to, right? Because you had to make new friends every place you went.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was hard also to leave the old friends. So I guarantee you probably left a trail of friends all over the country.
All over the country, which is great, It's tough to try to stay in touch with all of them, but it is a great feature.
Well, welcome to Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. That helps
thank God for that.
Thank God for that, yes.
Yeah.
After high school, they did come out.
But, and so what did you do after?
So I got into law enforcement, hurt my back. I injured my L1, L2, L3, and 2 herniated discs, 2 bulged discs, and sciatica. And then during that downtime, I got my real estate license. I always knew it was going to be a part because every 4 years we had to move to somewhere new. And I liked the aspect of real estate, so I knew eventually that was going to be a point in my life I'll be in there, and just made it happen. So,
but you're a police officer?
I was.
Oh my God, that's awesome! Thank you for that service. All right, but how do you? This is another thing. You go from police officer. You don't usually equate that with somebody who goes into sales that works with people. Oh, we love you too, Steve Bell. That really deals, like, you have to arrest people. But you don't necessarily have to negotiate. Well, I guess you do have to negotiate. So maybe that is a great skill.
I think the biggest difference, though, in that persona, everybody does not like you, right? You're always hated. You're always seeing bad things. So it is, your personality has to adjust. It did take a while to open up and be more, I guess, free-willing to say. But, there's, if you put your mind to it, you'll get it.
And I think another thing that kind of helped him get into that field was he used to flip properties before he got in real estate.
Got you.
So that kind of...
There's that missing piece. Thank you.
So I was like, why should I make everybody else money when I can utilize that money into the flip and make more profit?
Yeah, but a lot of people think that, but then don't have the wherewithal to make the next step.
Yeah.
So you're making other people all this money, but they're so afraid to take that leap. Why did you take it? What made you take it? Your injury?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was, down. I couldn't really do anything. I could barely walk. I was like a 90-year-old grandpa moving around. I felt probably the most vulnerable I've ever felt in my life. But, in due time, it healed and, moved forward. And I was actually blessed to have had that happen, as bad as it does seem, because my life has changed and for the best. So
that's a great way to look at it. I think framing things like that instead of looking at the negative and not realizing there's positive in everything, even if it's painful. Now, how did you two meet?
I'll let her speak about that.
So we had a mutual friend that set us up on a blind date, and what's funny is when she had called him for us to get together, he had originally said no, and I guess prior she had set him on a blind date before, and it went really bad, so he didn't trust her judgment. And he's like, no, I don't want to go. So I said, let me talk to him. So not even meeting him, and this is, back to me being very direct. I said, hey, I saw your Facebook. You seem like a nice guy. I said, why don't you come? You could bring a friend, and it was like a group setting. It wasn't just going to be a one-on-one, so I think that made him feel a bit more comfortable, and I convinced him to come. And what's funny was when I saw him, when he came to, when we had the event, he was very nice, very handsome, but I didn't talk to him at all. I just said hello and then I ignored him.
Can you believe this? Can you
nice.
This
is true tales.
Get a couple other
I had to make him work for a little bit, got to do a little.
Well, you had done all the work on the front end.
Exactly. I couldn't make it too easy. Yeah. So ignored him most of the time. And then towards the end, I said, let me talk to him again. And we started talking and get to know each other more. Yes. And he invited me, the next day on a proper date. Went to the movies and dinner. So the next day, got to know him a little bit more. And we dated for 2 months. And I kept saying to him, I want us to be official. Ask me to be your girlfriend. I guess I'm kind of old-fashioned in that sense, because he's like, oh, I thought you were already my girlfriend. I said, no, you didn't ask me officially. And what's funny was when he had asked me to be his girlfriend, I had said no. And he's like, what? Like, you've been asking me
Did you set him
forever.
up for that? That's awesome.
So the reason why I said no was because when he asked me to be his girlfriend, it was on the day of his birthday, and I said, I don't want to share an anniversary as your birthday. And he's like, I'm never going to ask you again.
That's a total dude move right there. Because then you'll remember it. You won't forget the day.
Exactly, exactly.
I got
so
it.
I was like, no, and he's like, I'm never asking you again. I said, okay, that's fine. Then about 3 weeks later, he did it very cute, took me to Disney, we did it in front of the castle, and asked me to be his girlfriend, and of course I said yes. And here we are, 6.5 years later.
You're 6.5 years in? I see, I didn't know that.
Yes, so
Wow.
it'll be 7 years in September. And now I
Trying
kind
to make it 8.
well, we've been together 6.5, living together for 3 years, and I kind of put a little fire under his bum and said, look, if you don't ask me before the end of 2019, I might have to leave you.
Oh, I like it when we use the TED show to put
Thanks.
public pressure
Yes,
on
yes.
someone.
Knows my story.
Listen, yes,
Now
Rafael,
you all can hold him accountable.
you have 9 months left, dude.
Yep. So,
Yeah, but I think
Even my
some-
clients say stuff
Well,
about it.
I mean, come on, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that you guys can talk about it though, and that's, you know, the theme of today was sort of partnerships. You guys obviously have a great partnership. You didn't do real estate when you met?
No.
All right, so as
Not
you're
even in the business when we met.
okay, so
Yeah.
you have progressed and gotten through and decided to be partners in real estate, because it's different being in a relationship.
Yeah.
And then when you bring business
Yeah.
into it, that's a whole nother thing. Were you afraid when you guys decided, all right, we're going to start working together, which means I have to see you and that mug of Raphael's 24/7
Right.
24
instead of
hours.
just when I get home?
Yes. It was very nerve-wracking for me, especially because I didn't really have the support at first with, you know, my friends and family, just because going for a medical field and then just kind of jumping ship to something total 360, they were just very uneasy, just because they were taught and brought up with, you know, you have to be either a doctor or a lawyer to be successful in life, and, you know, seeing him growing, and that's another reason why I didn't jump in at first when he first got into business 4.5 years ago, because, you know, I wanted to finish school and I just wasn't sure, and even I was, you know, not 100% there, because I said, oh, you should go back to law enforcement, because, you know, we want that sense of security. I mean, just by nature, that's what we're taught as humans from, you know, what the old fashioned was thinking. But now in this new day and age, there's so many entrepreneurs that can be successful, and when I did speak to my parents about, you know, going into this field, they were just totally against it. And, you know, my father was like, that'll be great, part-time, but go back and finish school. So what kind of was that tipping point for me was when I was working at a part-time job in retail. The company had went out of business. I had another job in line lined up, but Rafael was already going on his 3rd year in real estate, and he was doing very well. I had just moved in with him, and he said, you know what, babe, don't worry about work, go back to school, finish school, I'll take care of you. And for the last 2 years of that, you know, he really, you know, paid for my school. We lived together. We still had our nice lavish vacations, and our lifestyle was still great. And that proved to me and, you know, my friends and family, like, this business, you can be successful. He built and had put systems in place that it is sustainable. So that was, for me, after I graduated, I said, okay, I can see this being, you know, you can make it very sustainable and have a steady income if you built it correctly, you know, instead of those peaks and valleys, which, you know, this business does still have.
It absolutely does. But I think one of the points you bring up is about the scheduling, the having that structure is really the whole theme there. And I'm sure that being a police officer, I imagine, and a military child, there has to be some sort of structure in your background. And I think that's so important, because you're right, this business, or any business really, when you're an entrepreneur, it can be such a challenge if you aren't, because remember, then all of a sudden it sounds really good to be your own boss, and then all of a sudden you're your own boss. Nobody's watching you, nobody cares if you get up at 8 a.m. or 3 in the afternoon. And then if you don't have the structure, the discipline in order to do what you need to do. So I love that. So the chemist, scientist in you wanted to make sure he had the processes in place in order to... Luis, what's up, brother? Marlon says you're rocking that red.
Oh, thank you, Marilyn.
But I think that's so important. So I love that you didn't take the leap, or you took the leap because you knew that he had that organizational structure to it.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, hey, Rafael, what are you doing today? Well, I don't know. I might get up at 11, and maybe I got a house to go look at.
Yeah, exactly. No, he was definitely one to wake up early. First thing that he does is, following up on emails and phone calls until sometimes even 2 o'clock in the morning, catching up on emails and setting up his day for the next. And I think I wouldn't have been as successful in this business if it wasn't for him, because, he really helped me, be accountable and treat this as a regular professional job, which it is.
Status, baby.
And
yes.
Not only him but other people in our group, just kind of seeing them, like you said, just have that good structure and good systems into place, and holding yourself accountable, being self-disciplined, goes a long way. So having him help me, that was a big leap for me.
It wasn't always that kosher, I would say,
No, I understand. I like that though.
But I think the thing is, setting yourself up with success by going to masterminds, learning from those that are above you, and always plugging into things. A lot of people don't plug in, so if you don't plug in, you're never just gonna, you're not gonna follow the footsteps of the others that have already led the way. Don't reinvent the wheel.
I think a lot of people make that mistake. They try to reinvent the wheel. All right, I love what you do, but guess what? I'm going to do it different.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
If you love what I do, if you love what we're doing, if you love how their business is going, why don't you just want to learn from them, or learn from me, or learn from somebody in a mastermind, instead of going, I'm going to go off and do my own thing.
Exactly.
All right, you can do your thing with your personality, but you have to take that lesson, that information, the structure, the organization with you. That's why you liked it in the first place.
Exactly.
I'm always amazed at people that are like, Ted, I want to do what you do. Fantastic. I'm going to do exactly that. And then they end up doing their version of it instead of what I've tried to coach them on or teach them on. I'm like, why do you think I've refined these processes over all these years?
Absolutely.
A trial and error, blood, sweat, and tears. Live and learn, mistakes. I've been buried before. And if you can learn from that and not have to go through the same thing, why would you want to reinvent the wheel?
Exactly.
There was a quote, I'm going to butcher this, but they said something along the lines like, a wise man learns the success of other failures. So learn from what they have done wrong, so that way you don't make the same mistake.
Correct. I love that. I love that. All right, and so talk a little bit about, I don't know, you're going to have to tell them about icon status, because Luis put it out there, so I want to know about that. So you're in real estate, you are both with EXP, you are a team. You do work together.
We have a team of 3, so
we have a team of
Jensherise
3.
and Alexis Mirabal. Thank you.
Very nice.
And we're growing, so we're looking to add more people to the Fine Orlando Living Group. So if you are interested about being on a team, definitely reach out to us.
Say the group name again.
It's the Fine Orlando Living Group.
See, I love that. So where did you come up with the name? Because a lot of people come up with an idea, and then they come up with a name, and then the name makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Or they don't continue to brand that. That's obviously a brand you're working
absolutely.
Yes.
So Luxury Lifestyle and Investments Group. So we like Fine because we love the lifestyle, the finer things in life, right? So in Orlando, based out of Orlando, we can do Fine Tampa, Fine Miami, Fine New York. We do plan to branch out to other states as well. And then the living group, Luxury Lifestyle and Investments Group. So Luxury Lifestyle, we live in a lifestyle community. We love selling a lifestyle to people, as well as the investments. I buy and sell properties. We create rental portfolios. So we want to incorporate all of that within the real estate platform versus a different capital, like a capital group, LLC, and then a real estate company. We wanted to try to keep it all in-house and then do a sub-page to the investment.
Why do you think the lifestyle, I love that. So you sell the lifestyle, you live it and you sell it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how people sell things that they aren't living. It's a fascinating thing to me. And that's where you find people that they're not as successful because people don't believe them. Why? Because you're not living the life you're promoting. So talk about the the lifestyle and why that's important and what that means. Like, I don't want people to walk away thinking, all right, well, maybe I do. I don't know. Private jets 24/7.
That's my goal. I want it to be on.
All right, so it's a goal, right?
Yeah.
But you're working toward that, and in order to I'm a big believer in whatever your faith is, whatever your beliefs are, you build it, it will come.
Yes.
So if you preach it, if you talk about it, if you manifest it and say, this is the life I want to lead, then that's the life you're going to lead, right?
Exactly.
So, but that's what you're working on. And what does that lifestyle look like?
Ooh, I'll let Jensherise start. I mean, we live in Reunion. It's a lifestyle.
I love
community.
Reunion.
It's got everything.
I need my
really
passport to get out there. Don't get me wrong.
I know,
It
it
is
is
a
a
little
trek.
south of Orlando.
But it's okay. I
Closer
still
to
love it.
Disney.
Once you get out there, though, it's kind of like this
beautiful.
aha, relax.
Yes.
Yes.
And everything you could ever need in life and beyond is in Reunion.
Yes.
Absolutely. Reunion, celebration. I mean, these are all, master plan style communities that have everything that you really, really need.
Yes.
But, the lifestyle of being on the golf course, my backyard has the golf course view. So if I'm out on the golf course, I'm meeting other people that are on the golf course or, that are traveling or executives in different areas of the country. I'm able to be with them. If I go to the restaurant Reunion, I'm networking with these individuals. That's just more people. You're surrounding yourself with the people that you want to be within that lifestyle with.
Yeah.
And I am a big believer. You are who you surround yourself with.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
for us, we've definitely come from humble beginnings. We didn't have that silver spoon in our mouth, but we've always said that we want to create that lifestyle where we can not only help our next, kids in the future, but also our families, have those great experiences that we've been very blessed to have in our lives. And we were able to have a lot of this experience based upon, putting ourselves in the right situation and being, vulnerable with people that are higher than us and just, learning from them. And, I'm a big believer, learners are earners. So like going into
Learners are earners.
Yeah.
We have
On my
the hashtag.
whiteboard and
Yes.
my office.
Yeah.
That's really
I'll take a
good.
picture and post
So,
it.
we're always putting ourselves out there because you come across some people that want to, they're scared to be vulnerable, so they want to seem like they know it all, and that's just not the best thing to do in any career, even in your personal life, because then you don't let yourself have room for growth. And even someone who has a PhD or a master's or has been an entrepreneur for 30 years, there's still so much room for growth, and that's something that I've learned
Always
from
be learning.
great mentors of mine, that have instilled in me. So I think that really helped me kind of have that mindset and create, like you said, manifest, the lifestyle that we want, having those affirmations,
Samantha.
putting it out there in the universe, because when you put that out and pour that out there, it will come on to you, and just being very grateful for, everything that you have.
Gratitude's huge. And hey, Janet, hey, Sam, we
Hey,
love you
Sam.
guys.
Thank you.
I think I want to talk about the vulnerability a little bit, because we talk about it a lot on the show.
Yeah.
People look at, in general, they believe vulnerability is a weakness if you show it.
Yeah.
And I try to tell people that is the complete opposite.
Yes, definitely.
Because if you're vulnerable, like the two of them, like you can't make this up how this is, right? That's why I love live.
Yeah.
There's no editing here, people. So the way that they are is the way that they are.
Yeah.
And so being vulnerable and being able to reach out and talk to people and share that you're vulnerable is really powerful.
Yeah.
It's a powerful tool. It's a powerful gift to be able to do. But people are afraid. Oh my God! If I show my soft side, if I show what I'm really feeling, maybe I'm scared. Maybe I have anxiety about something. Maybe I'm not sure about something. Then their perception is that they're going to be judged.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were in a book club yesterday, and this is exactly where we're at. We were talking about vulnerability, and we basically talked about how vulnerability equals courage,
Yep.
I love
which
that.
is insane because nobody would think about that
Yes.
together, but it absolutely does. So,
Yeah.
what was the book that we were going to be reading about?
The next book is the Manifesto book that's going to be coming up. We'll put it on
Put
the
it
cut
on.
later.
Listen, no
But-
judgment on the book club here.
But the biggest thing is fail forward. I mean,
Absolutely.
Yes,
just in
I
your
love
personal
that.
life, in your business
Be
life.
okay with that, as long as you
And
keep
be
moving.
okay, because when you're failing, you're learning and you're growing. I mean, I'm a big believer. There's no losing. There's just learning. You're winning or you're learning. That's how I look at it.
I think it's so important, and I feel like your age group is so much better than my age group at that, because my
Probably
age
fall
group.
along in the same age group. No, I'm joking.
Wow. Whatever you'd like to drink, it's all yours. But I feel like your age group tends to embrace vulnerability a lot more than the older crowd. We were taught, we were literally ingrained, beating our heads, vulnerability is a bad thing. Being authentic isn't the right way to go. And your age group is so much about usually being about authentic and being vulnerable.
Yep.
Hey, I don't like this. You didn't even speak your mind back in the day. You just went along with it, got your gold watch at the end of 40 years, or 30 years, and you were done.
Yeah.
You guys have created a different world, and I love the fact that you're willing to share what you're going through. You're willing to fail forward. I love that. Learners are earners. I also love that. But I think it's really important. It doesn't matter what business. I mean, we've barely talked about real estate, but you all are realtors, right?
Yes.
But you're entrepreneurs first. And realtor just happens to be the medium,
That's
the
the
platform, the
vehicle.
vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you have that spirit, and I think that vulnerability and authenticity are the gasoline for that spirit. I really believe you guys are doing the right thing. So we're going to share, see how fast it goes? We're going to share all of Rafael and Jen's contact information, how you can reach out to them, how you can be part of their movement. Learners are earners. All of that good stuff. Fail
ABL,
forward.
always be learning.
Always be learning. And I love the fact that you guys shared that and were willing to share that with them. All right, any parting words of wisdom, anything you want to share before we head out?
Yeah, definitely just come from a growth mindset instead of a scarcity mindset. I think that's very important. That's one of my core values that I hold dear to what I look to and wake up in the morning and say, okay, what can I do to not only help better service our clients, our team, but also myself, and putting myself in situations where I can grow. So I think that's really important, just whether you're listening to Audible or a podcast or going to masterminds and networking, with Ted and his group, just putting yourself out there. And if you guys have any other questions or want to know what books we're reading or podcasts, definitely contact us. If you're looking to be part of a team, reach out to us. We're wanting to grow. We're 1 year in development with the team, so definitely ready to launch this. But that's, reach out, and then whatever Rafael has to say.
Take off thunder off of that.
There it is.
I would like to say, oh man, this is a tough one. Don't be afraid of success. Success can do so much for you, your family. Jensherise shared a post with Sarah Bleakley, the founder of Spanx. She's here in Orlando the other day at Disney, and she's like, success is what's given me the opportunity to give the experiences to my family, friends, and loved ones. Do it for them. Don't be
Have your
afraid.
why.
Have your why. Do it for them.
Have your why. You want to do that.
Yeah.
And I think I love that. Don't be afraid to be successful.
Yep.
I think a lot of people have this weird guilt or fear of it. And then they're like, oh my God, I shouldn't be successful. That's bad. It's not bad.
No,
It
it's
can be nerve-wracking, because you feel like you're going to get a lot of targets on your back, and you may, but do not be afraid of that. That means you're doing something great.
Yes.
And
when you're successful, you can help more people. So when you're not having any
Not just
income,
about
you
money.
can't really help people, So
It's not just about money. I mean,
Exactly.
what we all do, we want to live our lifestyle, right? But I can tell from them, you can tell from them, the ultimate goal is a very beautiful human goal. We want to help other people.
Yes.
How can we do that? The more successful we are, the more resources we have. Not just money, but resources we have to help people, to do the things that we want to do in the world, to make the impact that we want to make.
Yeah.
And so if you're afraid of being vulnerable, authentic, success, you're not going to be able to make the impact you want to make. So go out there, take the leap, take the risk, reach out to Jen and Rafael. They'll help you. They'll answer any questions. Doesn't matter if you're in real estate or not. They're open, honest, wonderful people. You guys are a joy to have on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. We love you guys, and we'll see you soon.
See you.